What's good, y'all? This is from Brazil with Love, and I'm here with a video response to my boy BafProductions. Yeah, so he made a video talking about asking us who is your favorite superhero, and it's really not hard to figure out who my favorite superhero is. I mean, if you were to be more specific, like if you had asked me which Marvel character is your favorite, I would have to go with Nightcrawler. But if you had superheroes in general, man, right there, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Those are my favorite superheroes. Can't really pick one of them because they work so well as a team. If you think about it, each piece kind of plays a huge part in making them these charismatic characters that we know. When I was little, I personally liked more Raphael. I was a big fan of Raphael. Like the cartoon didn't really do him justice. He was really badass, and I really got that. It really came through in the movie. He's a badass character. He's like the Wolverine out of all of them. Really hot-tempered, quick to go into battle. Not really, let's sit down and plan this out. Not Leonardo can plan that out with Donatello. I'm gonna go and beat some dudes' heads in. So that's why I used to like Raphael. Now I've been reading a lot of the comics. Now I'm gonna have to tell you this. I talked to Luke Doug about this. My boy Luke Doug. Y'all need to read the comic. If y'all can't really judge Ninja Turtles based on the old cartoon or even based on the toys. The toys were made for little kids. The old cartoon was made for little kids. The comics were made for not necessarily adults, but teens to adults. They're not made for little kids. It's a very, very violent comic book. It deals with a lot of deep storylines. Okay, it's very bloody, very hardcore violence, and it's really good. You guys that are comic book fans, it is really good. So you should really check it out. If you go to www.ninjaturtles.com, you could actually read the first like 10 or 12 issues. I don't know. They add some from time to time, so I'm not sure. But definitely check that out. So since I started reading that, I've gotten a better perspective on the Turtles. I used to love them because they were cool. I used to love them for the vintage aspect. But I started reading it recently. I actually met the dude that created it, Peter Laird. And at the time, it was at a Comic-Con, and it was like, I hadn't started reading the comics. So I really didn't give him as much respect as dude deserved. Dude's a beast. Dude could draw. Dude could write. Kevin Eastman wasn't there. He kind of sold his rights. They were created by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. Kevin Eastman kind of sold his rights to Peter and kind of went to do his own thing. But either way, mad props to those dudes. Ninja Turtles are a big part of my life. The comic book came out on May 5th, 1984. Ironically enough, that was the day before I was born. So I was born on May 6th. And, if you think about it, if whoever bought that issue on May 5th and really liked it, the next day is when they kind of, went to school or went to work. It was like, yo, you need to check this shit out. So that's when I was born, man, back when, when the world was getting out. So I think that's kind of cool. I found that out recently, and I was blown away because I'm like, damn, I like these dudes my whole life, and pretty cool. Another thing, the toys came out in 87, 88, I believe 88. Which was the year I came to the U.S. And that's pretty cool. I was 3 years old. I was getting fucking everything my parents bought, like toys. I wanted Ninja Turtles. The cartoons came out. I used to watch all of them. So these cats have been with me for a very long time, and they represent a lot in my life. Yeah, my favorite superheroes. If we want to talk about action figures, let's talk about action figures. Worst action figures. Well, a lot of people might sit here and say that these old figures, like Army Raphael, Astronaut Raphael and Cowboy Michelangelo, all that stuff they used to do, y'all might think that's corny and those are the worst figures. I actually think those are cool. Old school Playmates figures, what they used to do a lot with these is they would resculpt the whole figure. And if you really were to think about that in terms of money-wise, they really invested in people rebuying them, and people were buying them. So they kind of went crazy with it. They resculpted all the time. They never reused molds. So you really got to give them props for that, because a lot of people do that now to save money. Every time they redid a Leonardo or Raphael, they would resculpt the face. They would add, a winding feature where he would swing his arm, or the weaponry would be different. They really put thought into these, and the people at Mirage, which is the company that Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird started. They really got to get their just props, because they deserve that shit. But there are really bad figures. And the bad figures I talk about are the new shit coming out now. Now, I don't like the fast forward. Actually, they had made a cartoon back in 2000 and something. I don't know. It was alright. Followed a little bit to the comic book. But what I want to see, first of all, from a cartoon, I want them to release a straight to DVD movie, similar to what Marvel did with Wolverine versus Hulk. I want something bloody. I want something true to the comic book. I don't care if little kids, if little kids are you're not gonna make the money from the little kids. No, you're gonna make the money off of the fucking millions of hardcore Ninja Turtle fans that are out there, and trust there are out there. So yeah, I'm waiting for that. But if you guys watched the movie that came out a couple years ago, which was TMNT, good movie, bad plot, but really good movie, well executed, great CGI. The action figures that came out for that movie were alright, they were good. They looked like the characters, fine. But what Playmates did is they started reusing the sculpts for those figures, man, to make new figures. Every time now they release a figure, like they did for, they started doing what they did back in the day. They have like a rock set now, DJ Donnie and Rocker Raphael or whatever. But they use the sculpt from the movie to make these figures, and I just think that is so lame, man. Even the old school movie figures from back in the day, they were original sculpts. Everything was original sculpt. So that is why they are the worst figures. I'm not even judging it based on what it's about. I'm judging on the fact that they reused the sculpts. The new figures that came out now, yeah, same thing with the new figures. The new show Back to the Sewer, which I don't like because they're talking about internet and going into cyberspace. I don't know, whatever. I haven't followed it. I don't want to follow it. But they reused the TMNT sculpts, man. They just put some like cybernetic outfits on them. Oh my god, that's lame. So let's not talk about that anymore. Let's talk about the best figures that they have and will ever make, man. You can't really beat these NECA TMNT figures. These bad boys are based off of the comic book. Everything about them. The bandanas, the look, the big ass bottom of the legs, the weaponry. Look at how Leonardo's weapons are. It's two to the side, same side. Awesome, man. Awesome. The accessories are awesome on these. Look at Raphael. First time this has ever been able to put his side like that through his fingers. And you know why you could do that? Because these hands are rubbery. Look at that. They're loose. They're not super tight like hard plastic. Each of them come with alternate hand, sort of like so they could climb the walls that they do use in the comic. Come with like a ninja star and this other little dagger ninja thing. Donatello looks badass, really badass, man. And look at Mikey, man. He has chains on his nunchucks, and you could actually store the nunchucks. Look at where I put his nunchucks. That is cool, because this thing, the actual belt is rubbery, so you could just shove weapons in there. I mean, you could do it with Raphael's size too. Look at that. It's fucking sick, man. These toys are ridiculous. Even if you don't like the Ninja Turtles, you guys should pick this up. They each come with a baby turtle, okay? And Donatello comes with the baby turtle and a canister of TCRI ooze. This ooze right here I actually made myself. All you gotta do, if you guys are interested, you get a post-it note, which is like green, lime green post-it note, and cut it. Bam. There you go. Favorite superheroes: the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Heroes in a half shell. Turtle power. It's from Brazil with love. Signing out. Peace and be safe.